This week we learned Nothing is Impossible by Planet Shakers. And in the chorus, we really used, kind of stayed in this one position, playing these little two-note chords that really filled out everything else that was going on. And this is something that we can use in a lot of songs, so I thought it'd be worth exploring it just a little bit. Our initial chord progression, a lot of times when we're playing in a full band situation, we're playing these big open chords or power chords, and sometimes that just muddies things. If you have another guitarist playing in that same range, or a piano player that's kind of staying in that zone, being able to jump up a little higher and find a different frequency really makes a difference in how full that chorus sounds. So our chords here, we're working off of our C major, G major, A minor, and F. Those are very common chord progression. It's just that 1, 5, 6 minor, and a 4. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, make sure you check out your language of music lesson. Now, for those positions, what they did, is they're working off of that C major chord, but we're going to jump up to this position, putting our pointer finger on the higher octave of that C, right? So that's how we'll find our position. And then we bring our pinky up to the 8th fret of the B. Now we played in this position a lot for this song, but those two notes match perfectly with that one chord, right? So that C major. So it doesn't matter if the song is in the key of D, you can move that up and play that position. It'll work anywhere on the neck, building off that chord. So in our case, we're going to go from that C. So for our one chord, we're going to use this position. Then it goes to the 5, so that G chord. So we want to make the change there. All we have to do is put our ring finger on and leave our pinky in place. Matches very nicely, and you'll notice that it kind of builds off of, it's basically a G power chord, just a higher octave of that. But we're only hitting those 2 strings, and it fills out nicely. For our A minor, in the song we went back to this position, but we could either do that same thing as we did with the C major, because that's the 6 minor is the relative minor of the major. Once again, language of music lesson, not so much for this. But essentially you can hold that same exact chord for the A minor. Or if you wanted to, you can lift up your pinky and bar the G and B. Also works great, just a slightly different sound. And then finally, when they drop to the F, being in that same position, you just put your middle finger on the B string on the 6th fret. So what our chord changes end up sounding like, instead of, we're going, you hear how those chords match, but they just kind of emphasize different notes, and they really fill it out if you've got something playing underneath. Now, those might feel a little bit naked if you don't have other chords really holding down, if your bass really isn't quite holding that down, or the other instruments. So you have to make the choice. But you can use that in any song, those shapes for those particular chords, the 1, 5, 6 minor, and 4, or any order of those same chords. So just thought it'd be a fun little thing to look at. Give it a try. Try applying it to some other songs out there. Enjoy.